All of my belongings and the gift bags that I need to give the kids are all locked in the room. It's Sunday afternoon, nobody is there, nobody can unlock the doors. I'm like looking around for a key, like feeling weird and snoopy. Can't find one. Well, we just had our spring piano recital, and as usual, I have stories. I don't know why I always manifest these hiccups when it comes to the recitals, but here we go again. I've got some stories for you. We're also going to talk about like how to throw a themed recital, some different theme ideas, and how the theme that I chose went this year. So hey there, welcome to Coffee Chat with Phoenix. This is number 10. So grab a beverage of your choosing and let's talk about throwing a themed recital. I tell you what, I have been waiting to sit down with this coffee. This is, I think, my 7th video that I filmed today. Long story about why that is happening. But I have seen my coffee across the room, but I was filming so I couldn't take a drink of it. But in the coffee chat, I get to drink the coffee while I'm filming it. So can I just make my channel just a coffee chat channel where I don't get dressed up and I always am sipping coffee? Can this be a thing? I guess I need 2 channels. I don't know. Anyways, I'm really excited about the content that is coming out this next month. So this month, instead of a piano method review, I have a piano teacher book recommendation video for you. Next coffee chat or a coffee chat, I would like to do a Q&A where I collect your wonderful, delicious questions and then I just kind of answer them in the video. So I need some questions from you. So if you have a question, you can leave it on the video that it applies to, that it's related to. You can leave it on this video. You can leave it anywhere. Well, I will see it. Leave me a question. You can ask me stuff about me, like the person, personal, that's fine. You can ask me stuff about teaching piano, about piano teacher side hustles, about piano method books, about playing the piano, about TPT, Etsy, whatever. Anything you have a question about that you think I might have an answer to, please leave it somewhere where I will see it. And when I collect enough questions, then I'll make a video that's like a Q&A of all your questions and my answers. Okay, so the recital this year. Every spring, I host a themed piano recital, and it's a big thing. The parents and the kids look forward to this recital all year. They ask me, what's the theme gonna be? What's the theme gonna be? What's next year's theme gonna be? What was last year's theme? It's the theme, the theme, the theme. They love the theme, obsessed with the theme. And I come up with a theme very early. In fact, I already know what next year's is gonna be, but I keep it a secret until after they perform at the Federation Festival, which happens the last weekend in January. So it's kind of like a fun reward for like, okay, you got through that. Now here's what the spring recital theme is going to be. So I always announce it the first week in February and I decorate one of the studio walls with the theme, whatever it is. Last year was Disney. This year, the theme was music through the decades. It is my studio's 10-year anniversary. So I was thinking like 10 decades. So yeah, music through the decades. I wasn't sure how this was going to go because what if everybody wants to do like the 80s or, you know, like how are we going to come up with a balanced recital? It actually, the programs turned out perfect. I had 2 groups of about 17 performers each, and it was a pretty even, like we went from the 1600s to the 2000s, and there was like a little bit of everything. A lot of kids wanted to do like Beethoven, or a lot of my little kids were like, I want to do the oldest piece possible. So I was like arranging Bach's Toccata and Fugue for a 6 or 7 year old, which was actually kind of fun. That turned out really well. And a few other kids that wanted to do like the oldest piece possible. And I would tell them like, this piece was written before the piano was even invented. And they were like, wow. So the wall was like a timeline of all the different decades. And then one week I added like a bunch of famous art pieces from different decades. And then I kind of added on like some of the fashion from those eras and then like a picture of For Elise, the original manuscript and stuff like that. So just gave them something to ask me questions about. It was actually an amazing educational experience because the students were asking great questions. We were talking about like music history in general, and then like how music history relates to art history. And then we talked about how like things change rapidly now, but like the trends tend to stick around for a while. And that's why the fonts didn't change on my numbers. And there's like so much learning happening. It was a really good process. So we had your typical, classical themes happening, mostly arrangements, but then we had like, some Debussy in there and some original Beethoven pieces, stuff like that. And then I tried to keep it not modern. So like I very much limited the number of 2000s pieces that happened. It was really cute. One of my other teacher's students said, I want to play a really, really old piece. She was like, okay, what piece do you want to do? And he was like, I want to do, Hey Now You're an All-Star. It's like, we both laughed because we're like the same age. We're like, yeah, super ancient from the 90s. But anyways, it was a big hit. I got a lot of emails. Usually parents don't say anything, but I got a lot of emails that the parents were like, that was a big hit. That like they thought it was like a really cool just selection of songs, I guess. So if you've never thrown a themed recital before, I highly recommend. So here's some of the ways that I like ham up the whole themed thing. Number one is hyping it up with a delayed announcement of what the theme is. Another way I do that, of course, is decorating the walls so they know that first lesson they come in February, that wall's gonna be decorated. They come in and look at it at the beginning of each lesson. They ask questions about it. It's so fun. So a little decoration, sometimes I'll put posters around or whatever. I have the kids make art based on the theme. So the kids made decade related art or whatever. So that was cool. And I sometimes do like listening assignments that are based on the theme and stuff like that. Or sometimes I'll make theory worksheets that are based on the theme. Of course, a huge part of it is the actual song selection. So I'll work with the students to pick out, they each play 2 songs. Personally, I do not require them to memorize them. I feel like that used to be more of a thing, and kids are just so busy these days. It's like if they just play at the recital, we're gonna be good with that. So the song selection process is really fun. I get lots of their input. I play them lots of pieces. We look through the books on the shelf. We figure out something that's gonna fit the theme. And a lot of times they come up with the best ideas. Like I just tell them the theme and they're like, I wanna do a song like, and whatever it is. So the song selection is obviously a huge part of the theme because every song chosen has to fit the theme. That's the rule. And then of course I will make like the recital programs and posters and everything will have the theme. I will dress up as whatever the theme is. So this year I chose the 50s because that's kind of what I wear every day anyways. I was thinking about wearing this like 30s like glamorous sort of flapper dress that I have. But I was like, you know what? I kind of want to like be able to walk and move the piano bench and stuff. So I just went with the typical 50s dress. It's not anything you haven't seen before. However, I did have this super cute cardigan that's like light pink, which is not generally my color, and had the little strawberry on it. And I have owned this cardigan for so long and have never had anything to wear it to. So I was like, I'm gonna wear this little 50s cardigan. Oh, I also have a story about my hair. Lots of stories from this recital. Starting with the good part, the smooth part, the part that went well and was successful. But the other thing I'll do is I'll encourage the students to dress up as the theme too. So I told them they could dress up as, whatever decade they were representing too, if they want to. Not a lot of them take me up on that, but some of them do. And they also have t-shirts designed with the theme of the recital. And whoever wants to buy a t-shirt, they'll buy a t-shirt and then they can wear that to the recital as well. So their spring recitals are pretty chill, pretty casual. The Christmas recital is a little more formal, but yeah, that's how the spring recital goes. And then after the recital is done, I have all my students, basically like the front of their binder has a sleeve with a piece of cardstock in it. And the cardstock is designed to like represent their musical journey. So they get like a big sticker every time they finish a level in their method book. These are just like stickers that I design. I have them printed, like print on demand. And then I have the smaller stickers, which are their event stickers. So every time they do a recital, they do like a festival or another event, they get like a sticker for all those. So they get super into that. Ooh, I get my sticker now. So much excitement about the sticker. So some other themes that I have done in the past, just to get your wheels turning if you're thinking about throwing a themed recital. Obviously anything like pop music or movie music or Disney music or anything like that is very popular. I try to do like every other year like a commercial type theme and then like a generic type theme. So I'll show you what I mean. So a generic type theme would be, we've done the 4 seasons. So we had like the recital program was grouped into 4 sections or represented one of the seasons, obviously lots of Vivaldi. Another one I've done weather related is the storm and then the rainbow. So like the progression of the program is like all these stormy songs, and then we get the rainbow peeking through. Another one I've done is at the zoo or other animal related themes. You can do like an ocean theme would be cool. I've done a space theme. So those are opportunities where like the space theme and this year's theme, Music Through the Decades, those can be like a good variety of commercial music and non-commercial music, because you can have songs that sound like space and some classical, right? Holst. And then there are like the Star Wars theme, obviously, is going to be in there, or like someone could do like Interstellar, you know, or something like that. And like the Music Through the Decades theme this year, a good amount of classical. And then once we got into the later, we got like the rock and the pop tunes. So it was also a nice variety. Other themes I've done are It Takes Two. So everything was a duet, sibling duets, teacher-student duets, partner duets. It was all duets. Another one I've done is original compositions. So everybody writes their own song and performs that, and then they do one song that's not by them. Those are the themes that I can think of right now. I've been doing this a long time, and I know I have more than that, but that's what I can think of right now. So let me know in the comments if you would like maybe a more official video about like a checklist for doing a themed recital or something like that. But yes, I have to do that every year for the rest of my life. Otherwise the students would be so disappointed. Okay, so time for disaster stories. Disaster story number 1, entitled Recital Venue. Some of you who have been around for a while might remember a coffee chat from last December where I had some issues with our recital venue. I loved that recital venue. It was beautiful. It was an art gallery. It had a coffee shop in it. Oh, such cool vibes. But like the worst people to work with on the planet. Last December, I think it was like 2 weeks before the recital or something like that, they emailed me and said, sorry, we can't do the recital on your date. Would you like a refund or what? And I was like, no, I've had it booked for like 2 years. So no, you're going to figure out a way to let me have my recital on that day. Long story short, we just had to change the time of the recitals, but we could still have the recitals on that day. It was still a little bit of a fiasco, but it all worked out. Oh yeah, and then we couldn't do the slideshow because they had the piano on the other side of the room and they couldn't move it. And the piano was backwards from what it should be for a performance, but I'm sure they didn't know that. Anyways, but it worked out last December. But every time I booked a recital with this venue, it got a little bit difficult and a little bit hairier every time, okay? After like quite a few recitals there. But I liked the venue so much, and all the parents were like, we love it here. It's so cool. January comes around and I'm like, I'm already gonna book the May recital because I know that there are gonna be issues. I just know it. So I email the person, I want this date in May. Let's get it on the calendar. Crickets, don't hear anything. I'm like, okay. So I give it a few weeks because like we got plenty of time, right? We got 5 months. So give it like 3 weeks. And then I email them again. I'm like, hey, don't know if you saw my last email, but just want to book this date in May. I just need to know like a yes or no on that date would be great. No reply, no reply, no reply. So I'm like, does this person even work there anymore? So I call, I leave a voicemail, no reply. Something's not right here. This isn't just somebody being busy. Something's not right here. So I'm like, okay, who else do I know at the venue? So I reached out to both of them by email, and one of them said, yep, you are emailing the right person. Yeah, they still work here. I'm sure they'll get you set up. You know what? I'll jot down your name on the calendar, and then I'll just make sure they get back to you with a formal confirmation. I'm like, oh, okay, phew. We're good. We're good. I'm penciled in on the calendar by this other friend who helped me. He said they're going to get back to me. Great. They didn't get back to me. Couple weeks, emailed them again and called them again. We're like kind of getting down to the wire here. Nothing. No reply. I check with the other person who actually responded to me again. I'm like, am I emailing the right email address? Because I'm not getting any response from this person at all. I was starting to get really annoyed because I was like, if you're busy or you're not sure or there's an issue with the date, why wouldn't you just say, hey, I got your email, I'll get back to you, I was starting to get like a little irritated. So I send the booking coordinator one last email. I'm like, and I even say that in the email. I'm like, I'm just trying one more time before I give up and find another venue. We really want to have a recital here, but I need to just hear like even a hello from you. At that point, niceties were almost thrown out the window. 2 days later, I receive a very generic email that says, due to budget cuts, we have canceled all events for the foreseeable future. When I got that email, I had already sent out the stuff to my families because I couldn't wait any longer. They were like asking me, when is the recital? So I'm like, there's no way that I'm gonna find another venue, but now I have to. So I called on my manifestation skills, and long story short, I found another venue. So that venue could go to HE double hockey stick. They will never hear from me, and they will never get a good review from me. Even though it was a beautiful building, I have nothing nice to say about them. Anyways, this new venue, although it doesn't have the same like art gallery coffee shop vibes, it's a piano store. But like, dang, the piano was nice and it was tuned for us like the day before. And the people who own this piano store are the nicest souls in the entire universe. We have our recital there. It's great. Like, it's not the same vibe and the room is smaller, but the piano's great. These people were easy to work with, and that goes a long way. All right, so that's my recital horror story. But it all worked out. Now, story number 2. Okay, now we're gonna go to the recital mini disasters. Recital mini disaster number 1, Phoenix locks all of her belongings in one of the rooms at the venue. So there's a recital hall, and then there are these practice rooms. The owner said your kiddos can practice here before the recital starts if they want to. But I have 2 groups, and I know that some of the second group people are gonna come early. So I was worried that they're gonna go into the practice rooms and start playing on the pianos, and the sound is gonna go right into the recital hall and interrupt our recital. I'll close all the door to the practice rooms so that the people coming early don't meander in there and start playing the piano. I'll turn off the lights, it'll be fine. So I did that. Between recitals, I go to get the gift bags that I give all the kids that I had just stashed around the corner in one of the practice rooms. Doors locked. In fact, all the practice room doors are locked. They lock automatically when you close them. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. So now all of my belongings and the gift bags that I need to give the kids at the end of the second group are all locked in the room. It's Sunday afternoon. The store is closed officially. Nobody is there. Nobody can unlock the doors. I'm like looking around for a key, like feeling weird and snoopy. Can't find one. So I have to text the lady. And like I said, they're the nicest people on earth. So I text her very humbly. I locked all my stuff in one of the practice rooms. I'm so sorry, but if it's possible, I need to get those gift bags out in like the next 20 minutes. She comes down and unlocks all the doors. Bless her soul. So, crisis averted. Disaster story number 3. They're getting less and less severe. When I got home from the recital, okay, so everything went well, was feeling good, got home from the recital, and I had done my hair in pin curls. So like you have all these little circles pinned to your head, and I'm like, I'm gonna go for a walk. And I go to put my hair up. One of the pin curls was still pinned. So the entire recital, here I am like getting up in front of everyone, talking, moving benches. There's the curl bobby pinned to my head the entire time. You know, you think when you're an adult, you're gonna have it all together, and then just like these like stupid, embarrassing, like 6th grade moments just keep happening. Like, I'm in my 40s. When am I gonna stop doing stupid stuff? Anyways, I had to laugh. So it's like, it's not a big deal at all, but it's just one of those like, are you serious moments? So let me know, do you throw a themed recital? And if so, what was your theme idea? Because we all need all the ideas we can get. And then remember to leave me a question either here or elsewhere that I can use in my next coffee chat for a Q&A. Okay, love you all. Bye.